Hi, my name is Jeremiah Moore, and I'm here today to show you the reasons that Lee Harvey Oswald didn't work alone in the assassination of John F. Kennedy. The mystery behind this assassination has long been a fascination of mine, and now is a great time to dive into this mystery. Now, we've all heard many theories about this event that call Lee Harvey Oswald working alone into question, and even question if he did it at all. While there is no way of knowing for sure what happened on November 22, 1963, there is evidence to shed light on this. Before we get into that, we can look at some of the reasons that make this narrative questionable, and look at other possible suspects with motives. The first suspect is the Democrat Party. The reason for this is that Kennedy was very much a turncoat. He kind of strayed away from the Democrat norm, which made other Democrats switch parties too, He was a huge advocate for the civil rights movement, which was not a very popular thing at the time. Other theories accuse the FBI, but in my opinion that would have to have been in conjunction with the Democrat Party or on behalf of the Democrat Party. The most popular theories include Russia or Cuba leading the conspiracy due to the Kennedys' anti-communist ideas and actions. These theories make sense because, according to the reports, Lee Harvey Oswald defected to Russia for a while and ran many communist organizations in the U.S. So there are some of the possible theories, but there is solid evidence that proves Lee Harvey Oswald did not work alone, and this act has been covered up. The best example of this evidence is Jack Ruby killing Lee before an in-depth investigation could be done. Before Lee was arrested, the only solid evidence there was is that he killed a cop. It wasn't until after his death that the mountain of evidence was found linking him to the assassination. At this point, he could have just been a cop killer that the cops wanted to use to kill two birds with. The reason Ruby killing Lee brings more questions is because of a document released in 2018. This document was a memo about a phone conversation between Jack Ruby and an informant named Vanderslick. The phone conversation included Jack Ruby asking the informant if he would come to the presidential parade and said that there would be fireworks. This was on page 4 of an FBI report listed below. This would seem to prove that Jack Ruby knew what was going to happen. This paired with the fact that he killed Lee and not much is known about his past paints a very incriminating picture. Nobody knows for sure when he was born, and his parents allegedly immigrated from Poland. And it doesn't make sense that he would kill him in front of everybody like that. He was a big nightclub owner and probably had access to all kinds of people that would kill Lee without incriminating himself in front of a bunch of cameras and a ton of people. And the motive is what? He claimed that he didn't want to have Jackie testify at Lee's trial. So he suddenly has compassion for Kennedy's wife? How does that make sense? The reason he killed Lee is because he's obviously part of the conspiracy. Then once he goes to prison for killing Lee, he suddenly starts going crazy, and there are reports of him being very paranoid. The possible connections that Lee had to the Russians is also very interesting. He defected to Russia and was in Russia from 1959 to 1962. This paired with the fact that Lee Harvey Oswald went to the Soviet embassy in Mexico City less than 2 months before the assassination make it seem very possible that he was a Russian agent. Not only that, but the visit to the embassy and the communications with people like Valery Vladimirovich Kostakov make him seem very guilty too. If you're like me and don't know who that is, he was a KGB agent in the 13th Department, which is responsible for assassinations and sabotage. This was just 2 months before Kennedy was shot, and this is verified evidence sent in a memo by the CIA's SR division. The Russians defended those actions by saying they would never be so careless with one of their agents. But isn't that what makes it the perfect cover? Not following protocol uh, with him makes him seem like he really was just a nut with a gun. But it seems very possible that Valery Vladimirovich Kostakov could have been the one who gave him the idea. It's very obvious that Lee didn't work alone. But why would we cover up if we have documents that prove that? The reason is that we were scared of war. We were in the midst of the Cold War that was very scary. Everybody was afraid of the world ending due to nuclear war. We were climbing under desks during school. We let a country get away with killing our president because we knew this war would be the war to end all wars and give Russia a chance to revitalize their economy and give their people a reason to fight. This continued the tensions during the Cold War. There are many other theories, but this is the one that makes the most sense. It has the most evidence, and if you're like me, you believe that this is the only possible one.